It's really been amazing over the last 5 years to see how the Erie Downtown Partnership has continued to evolve to meet the needs of our downtown stakeholders. I think the main area that we've seen the most distinct evolution of our delivery programs and services is by far our placemaking experiences. You know, we used to be known for just block parties and garbage cans. We're so much more than that.
When you see the impact of your efforts really start to shine, whether that be at an event, whether that be walking along the street, shopping, parking, it's those aspects all come together for your positive experience in downtown. So it is very exciting when you know that you've had a hand in helping so that that business owner, you as a property owner, you as a guest, have that positive experience and you want more of it.
It's been incredibly rewarding for me personally, moving to this community, not really knowing what to expect, really liking the idea of this job and really wanting to get started and do a bunch of really cool things. I think having a board at EDP and a staff that support me and support my vision for events and activation has been really huge, and I think has grown our events to where we had no idea where we would be in 2 years. We've made more progress than I think even we could have expected in 2019 when they brought me on.
Good afternoon. My name is Bill Matrogran, and I'm the board chair of the Erie Downtown Partnership. It's my pleasure to welcome you here to the 2022 Erie Downtown Partnership Annual Meeting. Before we begin, it's my honor to introduce the 2022 Board of Directors and staff. We have George Willis, who's the ex officio of the board and retired from Urban Engineers. We have Christopher Friday, Vice President of the board and Executive Director of the Erie Parking Authority. Michelle Griffith-Oresco, Treasurer of the board and President of Rick Griffith Properties. Dr. Keith Taylor is the Secretary of the board and President of Gannon University. Dr. Taylor is represented by Erica Ramallo. David Sherman, board member and owner of Isaac Baker Menswear. Mayor Schember, board member and mayor of the City of Erie. Jamie Black, board member and VP of Operations for UPMC Health Foundation. Patrick Fisher, board member and executive director of Erie Arts and Culture. And Shante Pullman, board member and executive director of Nurturing Hearts. Shante is represented on the board by Constance Radcliffe. The staff includes Emily Fetchko, acting executive director and CEO of the Downtown Partnership, and David Tamulonis, events manager for the Downtown Partnership. As we enter the month of March, we are writing a new chapter in essence for our organization. With the departure of John Buchna, we are currently searching for a new executive director and CEO, but I can assure you we are in step for 2022. John is moving on to another position, and we'd like to wish him well in all of his endeavors, his commitment to not only the partnership and the community. In short term, we have a strong team on staff. We have Emily, who has a number of years of experience with the Downtown Partnership. She knows the ins and outs and understands the goals, the priorities, and the mission of our organization. We feel confident in Emily's ability to lead us through this transition period. We also have Dave Tamulonis, the events manager. Dave understands how to activate space downtown. We are continuing our mission to creating a safe, fun, and welcoming environment for all to enjoy. The Ambassador Program is a program in which we started mid-year last year, and now we're moving on to expand that program. In February, we announced a robust event schedule. The event schedule Dave put together, he continues to work on it and wants to create more visibility so that we can have additional collaboration with all the members that we work with. Dave continues to influence public space, again, activating those downtown spaces to make sure that everybody can come downtown and enjoy. Our goal of continued collaboration is paramount with our membership. We want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our membership and making sure that we still create new, fun, and exciting opportunities to bring people to the city core. Emily and Dave will provide additional detail associated with what's going on at the Downtown Partnership right now. However, before Emily and Dave speak, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Mayor Schember. Mayor Schember is going to talk about the exciting things that are happening in the downtown and touch upon the collaboration that we continue to build with the city to drive long-term goals to meet our mission of serving our members. Should you have any questions with regard to the presentation materials, please feel free to reach out to Emily and Dave after the presentation. They'd be happy to field questions. On behalf of the board, I'd like to thank you for your time today.
This year's Erie Downtown Partnership theme of Building Together is something that really resonates with me. As your mayor, I've witnessed all the ways that the citizens, businesses, community groups, and nonprofits of the city of Erie have rallied together to build each other up during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. As your mayor and as a board member of the Downtown Partnership, I've witnessed all the ways that the Erie Downtown Partnership has evolved their programming to meet those same challenges. Last year, we were really excited to collaborate with the Erie Downtown Partnership on the new Points of Reference Gateway sculpture at the intersection of 3rd and State Streets. Points of Reference was inspired by the local spirit of endurance and perseverance from Erie's pivotal role in the American Revolution and the Industrial Revolution right to present day, coming together to fight COVID-19 virus as a community. This is the first city-owned piece of public art, and we hope that over time, our collection of curated art grows. The City of Erie provided guidance for the project on buried utilities, structure placement, engineering, electrical connection, and sidewalk applications. As a mayor that celebrates Erie's rich cultural diversity, I am proud of the many different languages included on the sculpture, translating the word home. Additionally, the Erie Downtown Partnership worked to bring safe, family-friendly events to our commercial core, creating 100 events and activities for the community to enjoy for free. Seeing people safely participate in yoga and children's story time, as well as seeing all the vendors and community members gathered for the farmers market, has been incredible to witness. We appreciate the intention that the Erie Downtown Partnership puts behind everything they do, including making sure that events are inclusive, accessible, and support Erie's diverse artist and business community. Finally, I am also enthusiastic about the Erie Downtown Partnership's new Safety Plus Hospitality Ambassador program. This program is an evolution of the organization's longtime cleaning and maintenance services and brings a new standard of care to the commercial core. The ambassadors work to ensure downtown is safe, clean, and welcoming, assisting visitors with information, doing business check-ins, removing litter and debris from public sidewalks, and helping homeless, vulnerable individuals who need assistance or connection to resources. This is a program that benefits guests, businesses, and the residents of downtown, and I look forward to seeing the program grow over time. This year, our strong collaboration with the Erie Downtown Partnership continues as we partner on two important projects. The first project is the design guidelines and standards for downtown's built environment. Our city planner and the new historic preservation planner serve on the advisory committee and continue to be involved in the planning process. Good design is good for business and creates a better downtown experience. We're looking forward to the community feedback at 2 public input sessions being held this spring. The second project is the community-led planning and development of a new public space design and use plan entitled Engage and Energized Public Spaces. We're really interested in the continued development of public spaces to support both residents, surrounding businesses. All of these efforts are contributing towards the city's vision of creating a world-class downtown and bayfront. We value the strong partnership we continue to have with the Erie Downtown Partnership and encourage each of you to get involved in their important work to make downtown safe, fun, and welcoming. Thank you.
As our board president and mayor captured, building together is about what each of us brings to the downtown experience, and collectively, there's so much we are building together. I'd like to use our time together today to reflect on the past year and also touch on what's on the horizon for our organization and what that will mean for the members we serve. The Erie Downtown Partnership has always embraced collaboration in serving our members, and last year we continued that tradition as we advanced important placemaking projects. At last year's annual meeting, we referenced the idea of radical hospitality and the need to deploy a socioeconomic response to the pandemic using a placemaking approach. The idea opened up the conversation with small businesses about how what happens in the public realm impacts their private businesses. With countless hours meeting with small businesses individually and in groups, we set out to explore what radical hospitality could look like in downtown Erie. Through our pilot planning project titled Designing for Distance and Dignity, we involved stakeholders in the downtown's Renaissance District to learn more about how underutilized space could be reimagined to reflect and support a vibrant arts and culture sector in an entrepreneurial ecosystem that depends on a robust sense of community. With funding from the National Park Service and Erie Arts and Culture, this 6-month planning process elevated important conversations about how we coexist with each other. It also produced innovative ideas around underutilized public space and placemaking as a tool to implement those innovative ideas. One of those participating stakeholders was Radius Cowork. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more diverse and influential network of local doers, makers, and creators anywhere else. Radius has continued to provide the feedback that is needed to understand how small businesses continue to be impacted by the pandemic. We would like to recognize Radius Cowork with a CARE Award for their exemplary leadership in strengthening their own community, as well as encouraging their members to engage with the downtown community through participation and advocacy of special projects and programs that support both the economic vitality and quality of life in downtown Erie. They understand what it is to build together, as the membership collective has built a dynamic community of leaders, not just within their professions, but within their community.
I'm Sean Fedorko. I'm one of the founding members of Radius Cowork. We are Erie's community of remote workers, freelancers, and entrepreneurs who come together to share space, knowledge, and camaraderie.
I'm Amanda Duncan, the community leader of Radius.
And I'm Jess Royer. I'm community organizer here at Radius.
Radius is at the center of everything. It's part of what informed our name. From the Renaissance Center, we can walk a few blocks in any direction to any cafe, service provider, or friend who's also involved in rebuilding the downtown. And that sense of camaraderie is the foundation of our whole philosophy. You can't get that anywhere but downtown Erie. We're really emphatic about helping our members participate on boards and committees. We have members on the board of Erie Events, of the Parking Authority, who are advisors on the Mayor's Small Business Council.
I think even from the initial decision to move downtown, being civically minded was something that we really wanted to encourage in our members, and that was a really strategic move on our part to locate right here in the Renaissance Center. And it also gives us an opportunity to collaborate in really interesting ways with lots of different organizations that are downtown and provide more great opportunities for our members to get involved and engaged and find unique ways to kind of infuse their talents and skills into the community.
And I think that being here is being part of a family, and the support that you receive here is one of the most special things I've experienced, so I'm very grateful.
We've always said that Radius is not a place, it's a people. It's all about the community here. So even when we weren't able to physically gather together, our community was still strong, and we found other ways to continue connecting and supporting one another through a really difficult time for a lot of us. And you know, that strength has maintained, and that's why we've been able to stay strong and continue to provide this service to the Erie community. And you know, I think in a lot of ways it's only strengthened our community and really brought us together in some really intense ways. And it's been wonderful to see how everybody kind of rallied to support the co-working community and make sure that Radius stays strong no matter what the world throws at us.
In addition to exploring the impact that innovative public space solutions can have on the continued recovery of small businesses and residents during this pandemic, the Erie Downtown Partnership further committed to its mission of making downtown safe, fun, and welcoming with the introduction of a Safety and Hospitality Ambassador Program. Thanks to the generosity of lead program funders such as Erie Bank, Marquette Savings Bank, the Erie Community Foundation, and the Erie County Gaming Revenue Authority, we launched the program in September and have a goal of growing the ambassador team from 4 to 12 team members over the next few years. Ambassadors deploy the maintenance services we have long provided, such as litter and weed abatement, graffiti removal, power washing and snow removal of city sidewalks, and tree and floral basket watering. The ambassadors have continued training to complement the growing needs of a downtown experiencing new investment, more business openings, and increases in residential living to include visitor assistance and information, business outreach, unhomed and vulnerable individual assistance, as well as site preparations for our events throughout the year. Our sincere appreciation to the ambassadors, John Yost, who manages the team, and Joanne and Ashley, who all continue to make a difference in both small and large ways to those who live, work, and visit downtown. Our placemaking efforts don't stop there. We also dedicated the sculptural gateway at 3rd and State Streets, titled Points of Reference. This project was funded through UPMC Health Plan, the Erie County Gaming Revenue Authority, and the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development. The planning process included 5 public input sessions, as well as working with a team of engineers, artists, and fabricators virtually. The sculpture was designed by California-based artistic team Affido Idea, and 5 Erie County-based businesses provided services to the project, from fabrication to transportation. 74% of the project's costs were expensed locally, and 5% were expensed regionally. This is the first city-owned public art piece and serves as a sort of sculptural time capsule, with the storytelling graphics laser cut into the sculpture sleeves. There's even a graphic to mark the pandemic. We would like to recognize UPMC Health Plan with a CARE Award for their support of this Gateway project, as well as their continued support for our events, most recently contributing to Downtown Delights as a signature sponsor and providing 45 COVID-19 vaccines or boosters to the public at the event. UPMC Health Plan continues to be a valued partner in creating the downtown experience through their support of public art and family-friendly activations.
Good afternoon. My name is Katie Bull-Schaefer, Community Relations Manager at UPMC Health Plan. On behalf of myself and my colleagues at UPMC Health Plan and UPMC Hammett, we are honored to be this year's recipient of the Erie Downtown Partnership CARE Award. We were thrilled to partner and support many of the partnership's 2021 events. This year, and like last year, was unprecedented, but what has remained consistent is the importance to our community. Our collaboration allowed our community to gather together safely. We were able to educate and vaccinate many of our community members. We look forward to continuing our relationship to build a vibrant downtown experience, not only for our patients and our employees, but for all community members.
Thank you, UPMC Health Plan, for being the strong and connected community collaborator you are. And last year, we also saw the return of in-person events. The Erie Downtown Partnership was pleased to bring 100 events and activities downtown. None of this would be possible without sponsors and the vision of our events and marketing manager, Dave Tamulonis. Dave will provide a full events update to you now.
Last year, we finally had a chance to engage again, and the Erie Downtown Partnership hosted 100 individual events in calendar year 2021. Even through the pandemic and subsequent 3rd and 4th waves, Delta and Omicron variants, we safely used our public spaces in downtown to build density, support small businesses, and reconnect. We hosted 288 hours of programming, including farmers markets, fitness classes, concerts, lectures, sporting events, free movies, craft fairs, and more. Over 25,000 people attended events in Perry Square, Griswold Park, beautiful Bayfront, and indoor locations such as the Boston Store, the Cashier's House, and several of our downtown small businesses. I'd like to thank Erie Insurance, the Erie Community Foundation, ECRA, Erie Bank, and Marquette Savings Bank for investing in community events, activation, and engagement in our public spaces. Engagement happens at both the public-facing and organizational level, and we've seen engagement with our programming skyrocket this year as we implemented events that involve and invest in the artists, performers, volunteers, and business owners in our community. Events like the Farmers Markets and Small Business Saturday engage not only thousands of attendees each, but several hundred vendors, small businesses, farms, volunteers, and musicians, all of whom are now energized by the activity they've seen downtown, feel a sense of pride in Erie, and are more likely to continue contributing to progress. One such small business that has participated in events is our next CARE Award winners, Cafe 710. Mother and daughter duo Mabel and Thelma opened Cafe 710 at 7 West 10th Street in 2019 and were immediately hit with the COVID-19 pandemic, as all our small businesses were. Here's Mabel to talk about how Cafe 710 was able to not only make it through, but thrive and even invest in their new business and grow during the pandemic by pivoting to engage customers through our events and activation.
Hi, I'm Mabel Howard from Cafe 710. The pandemic totally caused us to shift our service delivery. In the beginning, our goal was just to serve a extraordinary dessert with a simple cup of coffee. However, we knew that less people would be coming outside to walk through our doors, so we knew the importance of increasing our average dollar sales. So we came up with the idea of dessert boxes. And the dessert boxes have been a success. So that's one of the wonderful things that COVID-19 forced us to do. It's not something we would have done without having to, in a sense. Another thing that has worked well for us is having the opportunity to participate in farmers markets. I would totally say that farmers markets help to keep our doors open. We were able to meet people at the farmers market that actually followed us down to our business, and that's a really big deal. Like, it gave us the exposure that we needed. The day that our signage went up, we started to receive people coming into the doors. They were working on putting it in place. People literally said, like, new business, new business, new business. We're like, no, we've been here. But the reason that we got this signage is so you would know, like, oh, there is a business right there, and come on into the doors. So the signage transformed our business overnight. Literally, we were able to get the drive-by traffic that we never received in the past. Most of the people that were looking for Cafe 710 pre-signage had trouble with finding us. So it was nice to know that now people know the stamp, know the brand, and we have a new identity with a bright, beautiful sign. Erie's very important to both my mom and I. It's one of the reasons that we wanted to be downtown. It gives us an opportunity to work with all of the different people that downtown walks through the downtown paths. As far as being in business and choosing this as a location, we're next to everything that we need to be next to, in a sense. We're next to the college students, we're next to the professionals, we're next to the daycares, to the YMCA, like all the things that we want to be attached to. When it comes to business itself, we're excited that we're a women-owned business, and that alone like inspires other people that are thinking about, should I do it or should I not? Like, they can come in here, have a conversation with us. We can tell them like how we believe in the importance of seeding into yourself, because you can't really ask other people to seed into what you're doing if you don't believe in it and back it up with your own money. So our everyday story, like, I feel like we're a walking story of inspiration that all people can relate to.
We recognize Cafe 710 for their commitment to downtown Erie and for Mabel and Thelma's personal commitments to community, safety, and advocacy for diversity, equity, and inclusion. With attendance numbers affected by the pandemic in 2020, you can more clearly compare the progress over the past 3 years by using what I've called our engagement ratio, which is how many people were engaged per dollar spent. You can see how the Erie Downtown Partnership has become much more efficient in leveraging our funds to engage the public over time since I started in 2019, with an engagement ratio increasing from 0.15 to 0.27 to 0.35 over the past 3 years. At the heart of our programming is a deep commitment to community engagement. All new events introduced last year were informed by surveys and qualitative data gathered throughout 2019 and into 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. This has enabled us to plan events that are more engaging, diverse, and equitable to those that use our downtown every day. Thanks to guidance from our Board of Directors Advisory Committee for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, we instituted several new initiatives for our event planning process that ensure our events are investing in our diverse community. We have set requirements for BIPOC representation in the movies that we show and the artists that we hire for concerts and performances. We've instituted a minimum compensation requirement for all our paid performers to ensure BIPOC artists, LGBT+ artists, and women artists are paid fairly for their time and are not penalized for lack of performing experience when setting their asking rate. We've also instituted discounts for BIPOC-owned businesses to participate in vendor events. Lowering the barrier to participation and ensuring that we engage our diverse communities strives to help them feel connected to their public spaces, to their city, and see themselves reflected in our programming, creating a sense of pride and ownership in those spaces. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is not a box to check. These initiatives help us to do our jobs better and help us to create better and more equitable events in downtown Erie moving forward. I'm extremely proud to be able to communicate our progress to you. Our 2022 calendar is calling for even more events, close to 150 in total. New events in winter, spring, and fall will take advantage of Erie as a four-season city. New partnerships with organizations like EDDC and Local Love in Erie will allow us to act as an events incubator and convene resources to create vibrant public spaces year-round. We're announcing a new concert series every Thursday evening in Perry Square from June 16th to September 8th, featuring top local artists and performers with local vendors and kids' activities. Our Movie Mondays will be back the final Monday of each summer month with the Film Society of Northwestern Pennsylvania. Our fitness and yoga classes will return to Perry Square and Dobbins Landing. The Downtown Farmers Market will return bigger and better than ever every Sunday 10 to 2 from June 19 to September 11 with live entertainment on the stage at noon each week. As we continue to see amazing progress and investment in private developments downtown, the Erie Downtown Partnership strives to be a leader and innovator in the activation and development of public spaces in downtown Erie. Public spaces and placemaking are an important factor in ensuring the success and sustainability of investments in the private sector. Businesses growing and attracting new employees, new apartments and housing developments seeking new residents, and new retail spaces seeking consumer density to support their small business tenants all benefit from being surrounded by vibrant, safe, equitable, and engaging public spaces. I'm looking forward to the continued growth of our programming and to the continued revitalization of downtown Erie. Our events and activation will help us to achieve a downtown Erie that is safe, fun, and welcoming for all.
And so, that brings us to this year. The Erie Downtown Partnership has evolved substantially since its beginnings in 2004. For the last 10 years, we've benefited from the leadership of longtime CEO John Buchna, who has helped our organization arrive at this critical time in our story. I am grateful for the board's confidence in me to lead the organization during this transitional period, and thank our core team of John Yost, Dave Tamulonis, and Kelly Hilling for their support and the important ways that each of them support our members with programs and services. Our commitment to our members and our mission remains more ardent than ever, and we go into this new year with our 5-year downtown revitalization strategy as our guide. All of last year's initiatives were central to catalyzing our strategy, centered on building the downtown experience together. The strategy's 2022 priorities include sustaining the Safety and Hospitality Ambassador Program, creating a new marketing campaign to support small businesses and downtown as a destination, growing our events programming from 100 to 150 events, and developing a multi-site public space design and use plan. As the mayor touched on, this year we are working in partnership with the City of Erie on 2 important placemaking planning projects. The first project is the city's first downtown design guidelines and standards to elevate the built environment. This project is being funded by the Erie County Gaming Revenue Authority and the State Historic Preservation Office. We recently hired Cleveland-based firm Perspectus to facilitate the planning process and the guidelines development. The guidelines will explore the architecture and neighborhood characteristics of buildings along downtown's Main Street on both the east and west sides of State Street, from 2nd Street up to 14th Street. Design guidelines support our revitalization strategy as we look to maximize the efforts of our own facade reimbursement grant program, as well as the Neighborhood Assistance Program, Enterprise Zone, and Historic Preservation tax credits. These guidelines will advise on trends of deterioration and provide mitigation recommendations. Studies show that downtowns that have design guidelines tend to have higher property values and retain their value through economic fluctuations. Design guidelines also create a robust sense of place and attract more customers into downtown small businesses. As part of the guideline development process, there will be 2 public work sessions, with the first one scheduled for March 10th at 7 p.m. at City Council Chambers. This initial public session will provide an overview of the project and the benefits of good design controls within a downtown. This session is open to the public, both virtually and in person, with online registration required. We'll provide event registration details on our social media. The second planning project will be the Engaged and Energized Public Space Plan. The planning process will begin this year looking at how the community wants to use public space across 3 anchor sites. These sites will include Griswold Park, Perry Square, and another site to be chosen by the public. As we continue to respond to the challenges of this ongoing pandemic, public space has become a much more valuable and needed consideration when we look to inform the downtown experience and support both downtown's economic vitality and quality of life. This project is funded by the National Main Street Center and the Erie Downtown Partnership. As members and stakeholders, you expect services and programs that create customer density and increase your bottom line as businesses, support your tenants and increase property values as property owners, and catalyze additional vibrant experiences to make downtown a destination that is unparalleled. The downtown experience matters more now than ever, and we invite you to build this experience together with us by collaborating on initiatives, providing resources for programs and projects, and doing your part to enhance downtown's built environment and investing in solutions that positively impact and improve downtown's economic vitality and quality of life. We will be asking you for your feedback in the coming months and for your participation in the planning process. Involving the community in building community is vital to the success of any placemaking project. And as a placemaking organization, for us, it's the best way to build together. Thank you for all that you as members do to build together.